And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. For those of you new to the channel, I am an endgame player with 3 endgame accounts, all in the same alliance, kind of all comparably in the same situation. And today's video is basically what I am calling Hoarding 101. Now, obviously, Scopely, their stance on hoarding is they don't want you to do it. However, recent game events and milestones basically not only encourage hoarding, but hoarding is actually going to give you a head start. So for example, in our current milestones, if they would ever load, we have this victory blueprint. I'm sorry, actually not that one. Yeah, actually it is. It's a victory blueprint, rather. And there's 2 things you kind of could have hoarded that would have given you well, actually 3 things if you want to be super technical. So earning war credits and spending campaign energy basically got you a good amount of points. And every 1 war credit was worth 2 points, basically. And there's kind of 2 things you could have hoarded that would have gotten you more war credits. So in your inbox, if you won a war, instead of claiming it, if you saved it, you would get these war credits, and this right here, 5250, that's worth over 10,000 milestone points. So, you would have gotten a big jump on that. Also, if you saved, and I do apologize, the game is a little on the laggy side today. So, if you also would have hoarded your Stark tech, you actually could have purchased, basically at every store refresh, you could have purchased 500 war credits, which again is going to equal about 1,000 points. And then lastly, on the web store, there is the web milestone reward that basically gives you campaign energy. And by hoarding this campaign energy, every energy you spent would have given you, I think it was like 5 points or something like that. So there's that. Our other kind of new reoccurring hoarding thing is going to be based off of ISO 8 energy and spending your ISO 8 campaign energy. And, the way you can kind of hoard that is you actually get, I think it's roughly about 60 of these packs a day. And if you get yourself close to 500, you could have basically refreshed your ISO 8 energy without having to actually spend too many cores. So, with that being said, let's talk hoarding. And what resources should you be hoarding? What resources should you not be hoarding? And how to go about this. So, what I will always say is it's going to depend on what events are currently going on in game. So like right now I am claiming my Alliance War rewards because that Alliance War event is going on. However, once that event ends later this afternoon, as far as, the time of me recording this, you'll see it ends here in 5 hours. What I will start doing then is I'll actually just start holding on to my Alliance War rewards until they're basically just about ready to expire. And kind of the same thing with these web milestone rewards. So we're getting ready to have an event that starts later today at server reset. I believe it's Pride Inferno. And basically with that event, you're going to get points for every time you spend campaign energy. So if you look over here, so you get 69 points, which, let's grow up with that one. But, you're going to get 69 points for every 1 campaign energy that you spend. That's just really tacky. Sorry. Off on a tangent on that one. But, anyway, so for that, I am basically kind of saving up my bonus energy. And what I will suggest is the web milestones, Alliance War rewards, kind of hold on to. They're all going to expire after 7 days, so basically collect them only when there's 1 day left, is the time to collect them. Unless, of course, there's obviously an event going on that will use those resources. And then you can kind of get a little bit of a head start and hopefully work through the milestones just a little bit faster. So that's kind of the mail stuff. Campaign energy and war rewards I would hold on to. Raid rewards you can kind of claim on a daily basis. There's never been an event that requires any of those resources, so those are safe to collect. But bonus energy and, war credits, if these events keep going on, I would hold on to them until they're close to expiring, again, 1 day, or if the actual event is going on. Next, we're going to talk about, when you should do your campaign energy refreshes. And for the most part, always I do it normally at the start of my day just because it's the routine I have. However, since the Pride Inferno event is starting a little bit later this afternoon, I'm holding off on doing my campaign refreshes until that event starts. So that's only, I would call maybe like that baby hoarding. But, as I mentioned, you do get that ISO 8 refresh energy for free, and I don't even honestly know what they call that. ISO 8 campaign energy refill, so okay. So typically what I'll do with that is I'll keep claiming it, and when my next claim would take me it would take me to 500, which is the cap, I will do one ISO 8 refresh. And I just kind of keep it that way till I'm basically always at 500. That way, when these ISO 8 type events happen, I have a nice stockpile. Another thing to kind of consider in the ISO 8 realm is also on the Strike Pass. You'll look at the very beginning of the Strike Pass, and you're going to see that if you do the free path, there's 2 places that you get 240 ISO 8 energy. If you happen to purchase the Strike Pass, you have an additional, 2 240s. And I waited to collect this until the ISO 8 energy event started. There's really nothing that is making you collect this as soon as you unlock it. So as long as you don't mind seeing that one little, red dot, you can hold on to this until there's either an ISO 8 event, or when this is getting ready to end. So, if you're obviously getting close to it ending, go ahead and collect. That way you don't lose out on those rewards. That is the main stuff up here, I would say. Our next kind of resource we're going to talk about is gold. Obviously, the more gold you have, the better. I try to kind of keep myself at a solid amount. Kind of my new cap is about 15 mil, and typically what I will do is in a day, whatever character I'm raising up, in this case I happen to be raising up the Young Avengers, and I've kind of taken a side step for Gambit, but I'll spend 1 million gold on bringing a character up. I'll buy whatever I need in the supply store. I don't really mind that too much. And then just because I wanted to kind of get more of my characters crossed off, I was bringing up 1 character a day, rank-wise. And I'm at the point now where actually all of my characters that I do have are max star for their, whatever their level may be. I do have some characters that are obviously not maxed out yet, but everyone that I can kind of take a star level up, I've done. And that's kind of what I do with my gold. So typically, from a pure farming standpoint, I probably spend about 2 million gold a day, and it's because I do have a nice excess. If you're finding that you are a little bit tighter on gold, I would try to limit your gold spending to just about 1 mil. And by doing that, eventually you will get an excess. And now we are going to move into the next kind of big hoarding spot, and that is all your orbs. And this is going to be very dependent on the player and kind of where you are in the game. So for Kale, I have very few characters that are basically not at max star that are in this premium orb. So when we look here, we'll look at the common drops. So, top row, don't need nothing, 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 nothing. I do still need Colleen Wing, but she's almost maxed out and she's in the arena store, so really doesn't count here. Nothing here. I do need Dagger, so that's one character. Dr. Voodoo, Echo, Ghost Spider, she's kind of farmable in the raid milestones. And we've got Icarus, we have Kate Bishop, we've got Lady Deathstrike, she's now farmable, so I don't count her. Madeline Pryor, Magic is now farmable, so we don't count her either. Morbius. So, I mean, there's quite a few characters in here, but none of these characters are really like meta-defining, I guess. Obviously, Wong, Doctor Strange Heartless, or DSH are unfarmable. Truthfully, I'm actually waiting for Agatha to kind of pop up in this orb, and once Agatha's in here, I'll probably will start opening premium orbs. But if you are running into a situation where you have more characters not at max star in this premium orb, they're definitely worth opening. If there's only like a handful of characters you're really looking for, go ahead and hold on to them. It's not hurting anything, and typically what'll happen is when they add a new character, they'll normally take out an older character. So, hypothetically, let's just say they add in Agatha tomorrow, which they're not, but let's just say they do. If they add in Agatha tomorrow, they might take out AIM Infector, and it just gives you a better chance of getting more characters that you need. Red Star Orbs, I talked about a little bit in the last video. I typically like to keep about 30 Red Star Orbs at all times. This is just a number I like in my head, and that's just in case I get some bad drops in the Elite Store. So what I'll do is, once Gambit is no longer the featured character, typically what'll happen is it'll go to the 10 times Dark Promos. And when that happens, I will open up as many orbs as I have until I'm basically down to 30. And that just kind of gives me a nice stockpile of Dark Promos. It also gives me a nice stockpile of Elite 4 credits, and that way I have the Elite 4s for new characters. Our next one is basically an event campaign. You can just go ahead and open those orbs. There's nothing really to be said about that. These character orbs for 675 cores is an absolute waste. The basic orb is going to be very similar to the premium orb. You do have a very, very slim chance of getting a better character. Obviously, some of them have better odds than others, but again, I'm actually kind of waiting for Agatha to come in here, and once Agatha comes in here, I'll probably start opening these orbs up. But right now, I've decided on Kale. I'd rather just kind of hold off, as really the only 3 characters I'm really kind of looking for in this orb are going to be Wong, DSH, and Agatha isn't there, so I'm holding off. Now, gold orbs, you'll notice I've built up quite a stockpile here. I've got 102 gold orbs, and basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep myself around 15 million, and I'm trying to basically, keep this going, so I won't really open these orbs if I don't have to. If I do, I typically will open it until I get down to the next even number. So, like in this case, if I needed gold orbs, I would open up 2 and kind of see where I was. If I had 108, I would open up 8 gold orbs, and I just like the even number. There's really no rhyme or reason. But I am in a nice place gold-wise, so I've actually just been kind of saving these and, getting that best hoarding life. Legacy orbs, there's no reason to hoard these. Just go ahead and open them. They're not going to add different characters to these. Same thing with the training orbs. Go ahead and open those. T3, T2, T1s. Go ahead and open them. No sense in hoarding these. Mega Orbs is going to be another very situational thing. And again, when we look at the center of those 50 character shards, there are a lot of good characters in here currently. So, like, for me, Dr. Voodoo, Kate, Madeline, Scarlet Spider, Cersei, Silver Samurai, Spider-Punk, DSH, Kestrel even, are all good characters. for that 50 shards. You know, then you also have 100 shards of a couple more characters. So, you know, I'm actually kind of just holding out. Again, I'm holding out for Agatha, and I might be waiting for a very long time. But if you're in a situation where, you know, all of these characters are either not max stars or you need them, you can definitely consider opening these. So again, it's very situational. If these are some characters that you do need, go ahead and open them. If it's not something you need right now, go ahead and save it. And that's kind of the reoccurring theme. If you don't need it, just save it. Milestone 2 orbs, you can go ahead and open these. They're not going to add new characters. Same thing with the 14 orbs, 15 orbs, and the Armory 16 orbs. You can just go ahead and open those. No point in hoarding. We're going to move on over to the Blitz store and kind of what I hoard here. Now, I always want to make sure I do have enough to purchase my War Energy refills. Kale is maxed on the last farmable character. So what I'll do is when these Blitz orb credits get, or these Blitz credits rather, get above 10,000, I will typically open up 10 of these and just get myself below 5,000. And it's just basically to get a couple Silver Samurai shards. Nothing too crazy. What I will say is, as you're bringing up characters, and you might run into a purple gear crunch. I do occasionally still run into that on Kale, Mystic in particular recently. But what I'll do is I basically just open up, you know, 10 of these or, you know, whatever, until I have enough purple gear to take the character up to the next level. And other than that, though, I just kind of hold on to it until it's needed. Again, the philosophy, if you don't need it, save it. So yeah, pretty standard here. In the raid store, again, Kale is a little bit shorter on raid energy, just because I did go through a little bit of a catalyst crunch. I completed Dark Dimension 4 quite a while ago, so I don't have so many catalysts as like Minnie does, or even Dracarys. But so I'm having to be a little bit more choosy with my supply store. I basically buy the SBCs and I think Focus Catalysts are the other one I'm short at the moment. But anyway, so when I'm looking at orbs, blue gear orbs, I just let kind of rack up. Same thing with the purple ones. If I guess you did run into a situation where you ran out of these purple Blitz orbs, you could then kind of go into the raid ones. I don't like the raid ones as much because it covers all of the origin pieces. So like you've got Bio, Skill, Tech, Mystic, and Mutant all in one, whereas with the Blitz ones you can kind of focus. But I don't hoard the orange gear orbs, the orange elite orbs. I don't hoard these either. And that's just because, you know, right now I am in a big orange gear crunch in certain origin pieces. So I just make sure I always open these. Same thing with the alpha raid orbs. They're not going to really add new characters to an existing orb. If anything, they would make a new orb. So it doesn't make sense to really hoard any of this currency. You might as well just go ahead and open these and, you know, not hold yourself back. In the arena, this orb is not worth it, so you can kind of see here I'm farming Colleen Wing. So once Colleen Wing is at the 7-star mark, I'll basically just start holding on to this arena credits until Dagger gets added, and hopefully I'll have a nice stockpile where I can kind of get a large influx of Dagger shards and kind of keep her going. But that's really the only hoarding I do here, is once a character is maxed out and there's nothing left to farm, I just hold on to the currency until the next character comes. So pretty standard. In the War Store, I am not currently hoarding anything. I've kind of given up on the hope of the Teal War Orb coming. I don't think that is the case, especially since we got Cosmic Crucible. So basically, I'm looking at, like, do I need more G14, G13 pieces, or more G15s. And currently I've got more of a shortage of G13s and G14s. So I'm opening the War Orb 1. So this is going to be kind of player dependent, and I wouldn't open them if you don't need to. If you're fine with your orange gear, you're okay to hold on to this. I'm actually currently opening these because I'm missing, I think I need 2 more for Gambit's Hero Unique, and you do have a chance to get them in either of these orbs, so that's why I'm opening these. Cosmic Crucible Store, I talked about it a little bit in my last video. Go ahead and open these Teal Gear Crucible Orbs. That is a really good buy. And in the actual supply store, I'm either buying uniques that I know I need, or the mini uniques. But I'm not really hoarding this currency. Kind of talked about it a little bit in the supply video. Basically, any hero, any mini unique rather, that's under 100, I'm purchasing. And any actual hero unique that I need, I'm purchasing as well. So you'll notice I'm basically out of this Crucible credits until the next Crucible run. Elite Store, again, I am hoarding these Elite 5s, Elite 4s, Elite 6s, and Elite 7s, just for particular characters. I did blow through my fairly large stockpile of Elite 4s and Elite 5s on Gambit. I think I had, before Gambit, I had like 20k of these, 20k of these, and I think I had 1 Elite 6, and I basically opened those to get Gambit. I did get a 6-star Gambit, so I'm actually happy with that. But I would hold on to these until there's a character you're looking for. You know, like I got Gambit at 6 stars, so I didn't bother opening the Elite 7. You know, maybe the next character that comes out I might be excited for, and that'll be a candidate, but it's just kind of one of those things. We'll see. In the ISO 8 store, there's no reason to hoard kind of these first couple ones. You can just open them, but when you get to the point where your raid team is all at blue 3, I definitely think it is, you know, the good time to basically then start hoarding the blue orbs. And basically I only open these as I need them for new characters, whether it be for arena, raids, or whatever. Eventually you will get a stockpile, and that's what I'm using those for. Our last little store that kind of, I guess, encourages hoarding is going to be the Ultimate store. Now, these orbs are garbage. Don't buy these orange gear orbs. They're terrible, terrible. But what I do save is for the actual Ultimus orb itself, and it's the only orb in the game, probably, that you want a green drop. Because when you get a green drop, you're going to get 15 of basically a character in here, and there is quite a few unfarmable characters. And once again, you guessed it, I am holding on to this orb for Agatha. Now, this is going to kind of depend on where you are. Again, if there's more characters in this orb that you need that are unfarmable, go ahead and open the orb. For superstitious reasons, I like to get 20 of these and then I open them. There's really no rhyme or reason, I just like to have 20. It's a fun number, I guess. And I'll open up 20. Basically, any dupes, I'll then kind of go to the supply store, let them get turned back into Ultimus food, open again until I'm basically at 0, and then I'll restock again to 20. But like I said, I'm holding out for, you know, Agatha coming to this orb eventually, or hopefully. So that's kind of where I hoard here. Now, another resource that I guess is semi kind of hoard worthy is your Blitz credits. And typically, if I have not kind of completed my dailies for the day, you basically get 100 Blitz credits, or Blitz refreshes. What is this currency called? Blitz charges. So you get 100 Blitz charges a day. So typically what I'll do is I'll kind of keep myself at 400. That way, when I claim my, I think it's the villains, if you do the villains campaign 3 times, is the one that gives you the 100 Blitz charges. That way my Blitz charges never max out and they're good to go. And that way, if a new Blitz comes, or a Blitz-related event, I have my basically fully stocked Blitz charges, and I'm good to go. So again, I kind of keep this at 400, I claim my energy, it goes back up to like 485, and then tomorrow I'll do the same thing. until kind of a new Blitz event starts, or on the days that the Blitz energy refreshes. So that's going to be Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays for me. So on those days, typically what I'll do is if I know there's not going to be a Blitz-related event starting that day, I will take my Blitz charges down to 130. I'll then claim my daily objective, which brings me up to 230, and then if you do the 3 daily challenges for Blitz, you're going to get another 270, which will take you to 500, and that kind of gets you capped out. So that's kind of what I do there. And last but not least is our Stark Tech currency, and I think that's the last kind of hoarding thing we'll talk about. Oh, and dark promo credits, which I touched on a little bit in the supply video. But what I would say right now is, unless there's an event that is war credit focused, I think it's actually a good idea to just kind of keep holding on to Stark Tech if all of your Stark Tech is maxed. And when events like the war credit event are going on, you can basically just buy these and give yourself a little bit of a head start. I think Scopely is going to kind of keep doing those type of events in the future, so I think it's a good idea to just kind of hold on to Stark Tech. Again, going with the philosophy is if you don't need it, save it. Lastly, dark promos. I touched on this in the supply video, but I always like to make sure I have enough to take up the next Horseman to 5 stars. 5-star Horseman is going to be 1,200 dark promo credits. So I'm always making sure I have at least 1,200. On Kale, I got to the point where I had 4,200 dark promos, so I did take up Doom to 5. But other than that, Ultron and Ultimus are definitely not worth the purchase. The only reason I would maybe consider purchasing those is if you were at the cap, which is 5k. If that's the case, buy who's ever cheapest just to keep yourself below the cap and kind of then go back into savings mode. But yeah, I think that is kind of Hoarding 101. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, actually. So if y'all do have any questions about how to hoard, or if you want me to explain anything in a little bit more detail, feel free to let me know what was either a little confusing, or if there's any kind of currency that you feel should be hoarded that I didn't mention, please let me know down below. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Hope everyone is having a good week, and take it easy.